Hello and welcome to Sega News Bits Extra. I'm your host George, and with me is Barry.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about Sega News, but first, we're going to be talking about what we've been doing. Well, I've been playing Yakuza Kiwami 2 because I'm doing the review. It's pretty interesting. I mean, like, I don't want to talk too much about it because there's like a deadline or whatever that I can't really share footage or discuss the, I guess, intricate things about the game, but I could say a little bit of things that I've noticed from playing it right now. One of the first things is that, like, it's not as smooth as Yakuza 6. I thought this one might have improved because it's like the next one in the Dragon Engine, but some of the missions, like, you know when you're playing Yakuza and then randomly a woman shows up and you have a side mission, there's like this weird like choppiness to it, but it's not like the worst. I think I'm really picky about this kind of stuff. Like, I really like notice it, and like anything that chops up or drops frame rate, it's not the worst, but it is noticeable, and I want to see how it goes later on. I'm still like in chapter 3 or 4. I've been kind of like playing it a little bit here, a little bit there. I've been kind of busy, but I'm gonna have to like settle down and put in a good like 8 hours one day, because that's how I play Yakuza games. It's one of those like, oh, I start playing it, I can't put it down for like a long period of time. So we'll see how that goes. And what have you been playing, Barry?
Not much. I've been playing some Sonic Mania. Really, I've been kind of like waiting for the Shenmue review code to drop, because I don't know if people follow us on Twitter. I've been a little, not on our like official account, but on my own account, I've been a little vocal about how Sega Europe handles their whole situation. And I finally found the right person to talk to get on the list, to get a review code, but it's so like roundabout and, to be honest, kind of badly managed that like right now, I think on Friday I got an email and it said Shenmue 1 and 2 review code update, and I was like, oh, the code's here. And it said, unfortunately, we don't have codes because we have too many people requesting codes. This is the most, you know, like the most requests I've ever had in my career. And it's like, maybe I'm stupid, but like, these are digital. Why do they have such a limited supply of something that's not physical? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, you're a saint. I mean, I think you are. Like, I would have been like, who do I have to get a hold of? I'm too lazy to be emailing random people.
Yeah.
Stop this nonsense. Like, I do not like that stuff. I don't have the patience for that. You went through all the channels and you were nice to everybody. I saw the email threads. Yeah. So I give you credit for that.
Thank you. But I think the good news is that I finally found the right people to get review codes from for Sega Europe. The bad news is that they're very badly managed. They have way too many people doing basically the same things. And there are some people who I think are, I'll just be straight up, I think the social account, the Twitter, whoever's managing that, I forgot his name, he is way too into YouTubers. And I think it's it's just like, I feel like upper management needs to look at what he's doing and go like, why are you giving review codes to a guy who has like 90 subscribers? You know? Like, who is this?
Yeah,
why are you doing this?
I'm not against them trying to like sponsor YouTubers and like grow content, but like when you ignore sites like, I mean, I'm gonna say it ours, right? And I don't want to be like snotty and people thinking like, George, he thinks he's above everybody. No. What really makes me angry, I mean, and I know I've talked to you about this in private, that they don't even like acknowledge Dreamcast Junkyard, who's been doing coverage of Dreamcast games, which would be, you know, Shenmue 2 and 1 and 2, and they just kind of ignore like he doesn't exist, and he's been doing it for over a decade, and he's been doing a really great job, and I think it's one of the most, I think the Dreamcast Junkyard is one of the best Dreamcast blogs, and even like just research of all time, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I know behind the scenes he's talked to us about stuff that's happened with him against Sega Europe, and I know they don't have a great relationship, but Tom, who runs the site, is a very nice guy, and he's another guy that's patient. I'm surprised he hasn't just called out Sega Europe, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, for our own, you know, like what we've been doing, Sega Europe did say, you know, like, hey, reach out to us. And so I reached out to them 2 days later. I was like, hey, did you get my message? And they responded back saying, hey, yeah, let's do something. What are you thinking? And I said, I was thinking maybe doing a contest. We could give away some codes. Nothing. No reply, no follow-up. It's like they just wanted to pay me a little lip service so that I was like, I don't know. Like, it's just not... Like, a part of me just wants to...
It really makes you appreciate Sega of America. Like, since day one where we started the blog back in 2010, the people at Sega of America have been emailing us. I mean, we've been emailing back and forth with the community managers, even after they got fired and it changed in 2015. They put in a good word for the site. They've always invited us places. They've always thought about us when they did contests. So it's kind of weird where we're hitting like a stalemate, right? Where like YouTubers matter, but fan sites basically are non-existent.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to go on and on about it, but it's just like I'm getting to that point where I'm like, should we write an op-ed? But then will that burn bridges? Like, what do we do? I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I don't want this to be a tease or anything, but like, I totally want to do a year-end review on all of Sega, and like, I think Sega as a whole has improved. I think there's still a little bit of things, you know, that need to be ironed out. But overall, I think Sega's doing really great, and I think they need to have an article or at least a video that's long form, kind of going through that and showing what they improved and what has kind of regressed. I think that would be fair. But the first bit of news is that Jim Carrey shows off his new haircut for the live-action Dr. Eggman role. And when we posted this, there was a lot of like feedback from Sonic fans. You know, there's some Sonic fans that when you critique anything that's Sonic related, they get kind of offended and they start kind of telling you like, no, it's not like this. You don't even know what's happening. This is just a picture behind the scenes. And this picture that we're showing you is just taken with a fan. So we don't know if he's gonna have makeup on still. So I agree, we can't judge it really, because I mean, when I heard that he was gonna have a Dr. Eggman or Robotnik haircut, I was like, he's gonna be bald. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, he shaved his head, cool. But no, he has like a Joker haircut, like an undercut that's like kind of modern. So this is the quote that I got the picture from a Jim Carrey fan blog, Jim Carrey Online. And this is what they said. This is all we know. Now that Jim Carrey has finished filming the TV series Kidding, he is preparing for a new project, the movie Sonic, in which he will play the villain Dr. Robotnik. Another time we see the name Dr. Robotnik. What are your thoughts on the haircut? And I know you don't like the idea of a live-action Eggman, but what do you think Jim Carrey is? I mean, is this the right direction?
I was laughing through most of that because I just thought how ridiculous it is that we have news stories about Jim Carrey's haircuts.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, you made a valid point there. Like when you share the news, like it looks weird. Like, where are they going with this? And people did point out the bald cap, like that. You know, it might just be for a bald cap. My thing is that Jim Carrey, I feel like, is so committed that he would just shave his head.
That's what I was thinking too, because I always felt like he was a character actor, like where he takes it a little too deep.
Yeah. And I mean, so there's two ways this could go. It could be like he does wear a bald cap, he has a fat suit, he looks just like Dr. Eggman. The other way this could go is that he's got like weird short hair and he's just like a completely different look the whole movie. Or he becomes Dr. Eggman through some sort of thing and he's like Dr. Robotnik and then like an explosion happens. Maybe, but just all the stuff we've been seeing with this movie, I would not be surprised if it's like he looks completely different and has hair.
And he has a totally different character, right?
Yeah, right. And he's called Robotnik because whatever.
And a lot of people, a lot of fans are saying they kind of like the idea of starting a fresh new universe. And I know we talked about how the Sonic universe is just all over the place, kind of like. And you compared it to the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I think it's a little too soon to compare it to that movie because that's top tier cringe levels right there. But like, what do you expect? Is like everything we've known is not what Sonic should be. Like, this should have just been a CGI Sonic movie. A nice adventure with a couple twists, some character development, just like Pixar, you know? Like, they don't think... You don't see Pixar coming up with, like, weird ideas like, oh, man, wouldn't it be cool if we do a live-action / CGI movie? And I know they're doing this because cost, right? Hollywood.
Yeah.
Sadly. The next bit of news... Team Sonic Racing breaks up Team Chaotix. by teaming Vector with Blaze and Silver. What is your opinion? I know this isn't the first time Vector has been teamed up outside of Chaotix. I think a lot of people brought up the fact that they teamed them up in Sonic Riders with other characters. I forgot which ones. Did they team them up with other characters in Sonic Riders?
I don't recall, but that seems... Because I don't think... I think he was in Sonic Riders, the Connect one, I think, but I don't think Charmy was. So you might be right. I'm not too bothered by this. I think we need to start moving beyond the... Like, people were looking at it and going, oh, once again, they screw up. They're not doing the right teams. And I'm like, this isn't Sonic Heroes Racing. Like, I know Sonic Heroes had those teams, and I know that Chaotix is a thing. But also remember, Team Chaotix didn't have Mighty. Like, it was already missing a character. And I don't think these characters should always be, like, tied together so that it's always, like, Charmy's there and Espio's there. I like Espio. I don't like Charmy. So, to be honest, like, losing Espio sucks, but... not having Charmy as a racer, I'm fine with that. And to be honest, also just from a like marketing, like smart marketing perspective, if Silver or Blaze weren't in the game, it would have been stupid because they're really popular, even though like as a 30-something-year-old Sonic fan, I don't really care about them.
I agree with you. I was actually just saying that in the Discord when people were complaining like, why would you even do this? I said, easy. Silver's a hedgehog, so right away he's more popular. It's like Dragon Ball Z with Saiyans, right? Everybody wants to be a Saiyan. And then the other one is Blaze is very popular because she's a wolf, cat, whatever character. So that's always more popular than a bee. Especially when that bee is kind of like Tails-ish in a way. The next bit of news is that Yakuza, the PlayStation 4 re-release, tops Japanese charts. If you guys didn't know, Sega's going to be re-releasing Yakuza 3 on the PlayStation 4. And it came out already in Japan, and it charted #1, selling 26,047 units. The other remaster or port that came out the same day was Okami HD Remaster, which ranked in at number 11, selling 14,089 units. This means that it charted for 3 days, selling 26,000 units, which is not that much if you think about it, but I think the Yakuza 3 coming back, I think that's more aimed at Westerners that haven't experienced it, because right now there's an influx of new users for the Yakuza franchise. What is your thoughts on this, and do you think it's going to do better worldwide than it would in Japan only?
I think that's great news, and I definitely think it will do better worldwide. Just recently, we saw Atlas announce the Persona Dancing like trilogy, and that sees and that sees a re-release in there. Now it's not on disc; it's digital. But I could totally see Sega either doing like staggered releases or just releasing all three of them as like a box set and then having them separate, because it's nothing new to do these like double, triple dipping on Yakuza. I think Yakuza 6 had 3 versions. So I could see 3, 4, 5 getting their own special edition and it's selling really well at like $100, or you can get each one separately for like $30 each, you know.
What's your thoughts about Yakuza 3 outselling basically Okami? Like, I remember like Okami didn't sell that well when it came out back in the PlayStation 2 era, but I feel like Okami is one of those games that like garnered a big name with video game fans. Like, it's one of those games you always hear about, right? You gotta play Okami, you gotta play Okami, and it's crazy that Yakuza, at least, it's gonna be one of those games now, right? Where everybody knows about it. It's not super popular, but it's mainstream enough where hardcore gamers online always comment about it.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be, I think.
It's really great.
The next bit of news is that the next Yakuza project will, according to Nagashi from Sega, the next Yakuza project will remain hardcore but interesting. According to his quote, which is, "It will still be quite hardcore at the beginning, but I want players to think, oh, this game seems really interesting. That's what I'm aiming for this time. That goes for the technology too, though I won't say any more, it will spoil the fun. By introducing new and more current systems, I like to increase the number of players, and if I do that, I can reintroduce Kiryu-san to new fans. That would be ideal." So this kind of brings up a lot of things. First of all, that I mean, the new game having new technology isn't anything new. I think the Yakuza studio always likes pushing forward and kind of ironing out the kinks until they perfect the formula, and I think they're still working on it. What is interesting is that they basically confirmed that Kiryu-san will be in the next game. I'm assuming he's going to be a side character, kind of like how you interact with the bosses. He'll be one of those like legendary bosses you meet during your adventure. What do you think this means for the next game?
I mean, I think it means that they're probably not moving as far away from the original characters as we expected them to. I don't think it's going to be a total reboot. I think it's going to be more like you said, like he could be a boss, or maybe he could be a second playable character. I don't think they'd go that route though, because he'd basically be relegated to you know, the supporting character role in that regard. I think it's going to be more like you know, I'll talk about Star Wars, kind of like how Luke returns, you know, and it's like he's above the other character, and so it's like a really special moment when you see Kazuma returning to the series, but maybe he's not playable, or he's just kind of like, I'm done. I'm not interested in the Yakuza lifestyle, you know, something like that.
Or at least him guiding him, at least giving him tips or something, like kind of like those people that train you up. But I would like to see him. Cool. Yeah, I would like to see him stay in the orphanage and take care of his kids, and it's like you get to see them like what they're up to now and his happy little life he's living with them. Because I mean, that's all we really wanted from Kazuma. We just wanted him to take care of his kids, but he gets into these adventures where he has to break everybody's skulls in, right?
Yeah.
That's all the news we have this week for you. That's all we. I guess that's all we have to talk about. Yeah. So, anything you want to tell them before we go?
Enjoy Shenmue 1 and 2. I'm looking forward to discussing it on the next Extra. We can tear into it a little bit, see what we like, see what we don't like, and I'm looking forward to it.
And I hope you guys look forward to my Kiwami 2 review, which will probably be in a week, maybe in a week and a half. I haven't seen the due date, but it'll be on our YouTube channel, so check that out. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week.
Bye.